Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to unpack Marvel Strike Force's newest blog post here in BLASTAAR being the next legendary character joining Chapter 2 following the Chapter 1 Harbinger Quasar. And this is all kind of formulating the game plan for Age of Annihilus. But from what we can see in the Strike Spot video, this character looks to be very, very exciting because he's going to be bringing in a couple of different dynamics. But as well, for those of you that did not catch that episode, he is actually going to be reshaping what's going to be happening here with Cosmic Crucible, as he's going to be an explosive force, especially on offense. And as we kind of seen with Chapter 1, guys, remember, there's going to be a lot of teams that get released as well in the meantime, but at least very similar to Quasar, BLASTAAR is going to be that plug-and-play aspect. He's going to get a lot of value in Cosmic Crucible, and I'm sure we'll get some announcements on how his red stars are going to be, because I think they're taking some feedback from what happened with Quasar trials, and are they going to be maybe bringing that back a bit or changing things up? We will see in the meantime. But until then, guys, let's take a look at his kit. Let's take a look at what's going to be announced and confirmed right now as per this release officially. So, the Annihilus invasion has begun. Nexus Earth is on the verge of collapse. Strike is calling in Negative Zone royalty to form an explosive partnership with BLASTAAR. BLASTAAR is the second of the 3 essential legendaries that you need to unlock to challenge Annihilus at the end. And so I'm assuming that's probably going to be some sort of epic campaign saga, very, very similar to what we kind of seen with Professor Xavier himself. But throughout Chapter 2, you also collect BLASTAAR's character shards from the command center to harness his infamous might. And remember, that's very similar to Quasar, where all 7 yellow stars was available, completely free to play. It's just essentially, making sure that you're engaged, playing the game, and doing all the game modes that's required in the weekly and daily, as well as monthly events that get detailed. So, BLASTAAR was a ruthless monarch of the Negative Zone, so you can see how that timing and with obviously the Negative Zone being a recurring event, we'll see if there's going to be more of these events, especially since he's actually from that area of the Marvel lore. But until he was overthrown and imprisoned by his own people, he escaped captivity and then brought his own warpath outside of the Negative Zone to Earth, determined to conquer and destroy anything in his path. BLASTAAR possesses immense durability, superhuman strength, and the ability to fire powerful concussion energy blasts from his hand. He's a living weapon of chaos, relentless, rage-fueled, and as well nearly impossible to stop. So like I said earlier, guys, he is intended to be the new king of Cosmic Crucible, so definitely going to be part of some really cool teams there. A new reign is set to begin in Cosmic Crucible, and BLASTAAR will atop the throne, arriving with a kit that makes him an offensive terror. This explosive blaster is a time bomb of damage and effect manipulation. All of his abilities have 0 ability cost, so very, very similar to Gambit, which includes both his special and ultimate, allowing you to choose how to pummel the opposition each turn. And then on top of that, what's going to be different is he does have a new mechanic that's being brought into the dynamic here. His basic fills a speed bar, it clears safeguard, as well feeds into this bomb burst status effect specifically for his own kit. And then while his special controls the battlefield and his ultimate unleashes a devastating attack, BLASTAAR is also fortified with heals, barrier drain, making him very, very difficult to kill. So, I'm not going to get into all the nitty-gritty details here of his kit, guys, but just overall, his dynamic is this bomb blast status, and they've done a good job of just isolating this specific area for his new condition that he's bringing into the game. So, bomb burst, light the fuse. So, BLASTAAR's prize weapon is the bomb blast status effect that both protects and as well pulverizes enemies. It's a neutral status effect, very similar to charged, where when you have charges or remove charges or certain effects, very similar in that dynamic, but only specific to BLASTAAR. And he's going to be gaining this through his basic or passive abilities, as long as he doesn't possess silence. And I like that nod there, because the silence obviously is going to be a reference to Franklin Richards here joining into the game. So obviously Franklin would be potentially a good counter for BLASTAAR already. But you can see this is what happens when he has these charges, right? His speed bar can't be reduced. He gains additional speed per bomb burst. He can't gain slow or speed up, and as well, he gains additional focus for himself and all allies. And then, how do you fill this up? Well, it's actually directly from his basic ability. Basic abilities feed BLASTAAR's bomb blast. Not only does BLASTAAR's basic grant him the bomb blast status, but anytime a non-summoned ally uses their basic, or BLASTAAR will also gain that bomb blast. So in the Strike Spot video, anyways, it was very interesting, guys, that they mentioned characters like Old Man Logan and Kahori having very, very good synergy with BLASTAAR because of the number of times that they use their basic, which is obviously going to increase this bomb burst ability and potency, right? And what's really interesting is they've They've modified specific settings for this so that way you can't just hoard the bomb burst. It's meant to be used for offense, but as well the heal gets reduced. So depending on how you use them overall, anyways, it's gonna be impacting that dynamic there, respectively, for the combat and how he's gonna be regenerating himself. But also for reference, guys, in case you're wondering, he is a villain Cosmic Bile Blaster legendary character. So yes, you can in fact bring him into the Age of X progression for the Cosmic Villain section. But just remember, he's also a bio character now. So now, all of a sudden, the bio trait has become one of the most coveted and most important resource because of the recent injection of the Fantastic Four members as well. So also a speed of 127, guys. That's really, really impressive. So there's going to be some Awakening ability materials. As you can see, all of his full-on kit is released here, as you can see as well, for your guys' viewing pleasure. And again, he doesn't have any energy cost with his abilities, which is really, really cool. Just scrolling down here just to see if there's any kind of other information for events and whatnot. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell, guys. BLASTAAR, second legendary of 2025. Pretty pumped. He does have a bit of Star Brand kind of esque to him, a bit of Hulk-esque, but really, really cool that he actually has these energy blasts coming from his hand, guys. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in comments below. I think it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens with his red stars, because I wasn't a fan of the Quasar Trials, because obviously we didn't need to try as hard as, like, you know, the Horseman events. But the trials that they had in 2024 with, you know, Green Goblin Classic, not the year before, which was 2023, it wasn't as bad, right? Like, you still had to try quite a bit to actually climb up. And then last year was kind of the actual flip of it, where Old Man Logan and Shadow King, there was only 2 legendaries last year. So that's why it's gonna be very interesting to see what they do now with that, because trials used to be a very favorite game mode. But I think based on the feedback from Quasar, maybe having to once again build up certain teams and whatnot along the way, that's why they're refining this, and that's why they're not releasing that detail just yet. I think they want to try to find a balancing act, so that way most players can have access and obviously be rewarded. But we'll see, guys. We'll see in the meantime. Anywho, that's BLASTAAR. Let me know what you guys think below. Are you excited? Are you pumped? This is a really, really cool character coming to Marvel Strike Force. I know I'm going to be pretty pumped, but again, he's going to have value probably in all game modes, but he's going to really thrive in Cosmic Crucible. So do let me know what you guys think. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.